Are the adventure bikes jack of all trades, master of none? Cue the intro. What's up guys, I'm Sean from Srkcycles with my newest best friend, 2012 Yamaha Super Tenere. So the phrase jack of all trades, master of none is actually a mockery of the real phrase, and this is what we should aspire and strive to be. Jack of all trades, master of one. Where does this bike really fall into? And to be honest with you, well, you know what, let's talk about some of the technical specs of it real quick. 1199 cc parallel twin, 270 degree crank, makes great torque, great power. It's got multiple riding power modes. It is throttle by wire. The brake system is a combined braking system, so when you grab that front brake, it also affects the rear brake. And weighing in at 575 pounds, which is on par with the other adventure bikes, and pushing at around 90 horsepower. When it comes to styling, Yamaha kind of kept their classic, let's make motorcycles look like bugs and transformers, which I think is pretty cool looking. And then the guy who owned this prior to us put these cool PIAA lights on it to give you that extra bam when you're riding the trail. With the adventure bike being the biggest, fastest growing motorcycle category out there, are they really good bikes? Like what are they really good for? What are they bad at? Are they a jack of all trades and master of one, or a master of none? A lot of times people look at the dual sports and they say, well, they suck on the street, they suck on the dirt. Just have two different bikes. But you know, they do make sense for a lot of people. It's not the same thing with the adventure bikes, and I'm going to go with no. And especially, you know, a bike like this, if you want the best possible, fastest thing in the corners, go get a Supermoto or go get a Super Sport. But to be honest with you, those bikes kind of suck at any type of long riding and doing it for a long time. And for most people, those bikes are way more than what you can actually use and what you actually need. Now, a bike like this does a lot of things incredibly well, and in most cases, better than your ability. So when it comes to performance, this bike is awesome. When it comes to touring, this bike is awesome. How would this tour better than like a Harley Davidson? I just got done doing 750 miles on a Road King, which was comfortable, but for a lot of people, and this is a very smooth riding bike, for a lot of people, this upright riding position is more comfortable than the laid back riding position that you would get on a Harley Davidson. A bike like this allows you to do a lot of things extremely well. Now, is this the best possible thing on the dirt? No, a full-blown dirt bike would be the best possible thing on the dirt. But is this the best bike that you can take a big trip on and go on dirt? I'm gonna say absolutely. I mean, these things are awesome off-road, but compared to a dirt bike, they're heavy and they're extremely powerful, but you can definitely do it. And they're also made to drop. They're made, you know, you put crash bars on them, you put skid plates on them and stuff. It's made for that stuff. Let's take it for a spin. All right, guys, before we do the test drive, let's do the words of wisdom. John 1:9. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and righteous to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. Amen. All right, guys, let's ride this bike. All right, let's figure out what mode we're in. Mode T. Nah, that sounds boring. S. That sounds awesome. Traction control. How do we change that? Now I like the Yamaha parallel twins. I think they're great mode. I like everyone's parallel twins. I think the parallel twin is a really good motor. It gives you that nice torque at the bottom end. It just gives you all a good power range. Just kind of all around. And you still get that, like, you know, it's not super smooth like a Boxer 6 or something, or a V6. You still kind of get that rough vibration that a lot of people really like. You know, I thought this was throttle by wire. That's odd. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. These are clearly cables. Huh. I might be wrong. Looking at the gauge, you have your basic, you know, sport bike style setup where you got the digital speedometer with the analog tachometer, and then big old fat turn signals. The riding position is very, very comfortable. This seat's nice and it's got great grip to it. This bike would be very at home in a lot of different places. And depending on what type of tires you want to do. If you're only going to do on-road, then do more on-road tires. If you're going to do more off-road, do more aggressive tires. But even with like pretty aggressive tires, this thing is very, very capable and can handle really well with those knobby off-road tires. I've seen guys just shred bikes like this. Those tires are pretty impressive. These bark busters are going to be nice when you're hitting the trails and you're not breaking your hands. It's also going to stop if you drop the bike. If you drop the bike, you're not going to bust the end of your lever off. And also, when you're riding this thing in the cold, it's going to keep your hands nice and warm because you don't have cold air constantly, you know, hitting it. Now these things, because the way they sit and how you have a lot of weight real high up, it just makes them handle very well. Think about it. If you have a pole and you have 20 pounds on the bottom of it, how does it feel? But if you have 20 pounds in the middle or on the top, it wants to lay over a little bit more. Now that doesn't mean that it's unstable, because the gyroscopic effect of you moving and the engine moving and everything keeps it very stable. But when you decide that you want to lean this way, lean that way, it goes very fast. Adventure bikes are just there's a reason it's one of the fastest growing categories, and because it has such a wide range of people who can enjoy it, they're very comfortable. If all you wanted to do on a bike like this was do long trips, it makes sense because it's super incredibly comfortable. It's got big, tall bars. It's very relaxing. Good posture, you know, ergonomics of the bike. And this bike's pretty quick. I'm gonna imagine this thing's gonna do 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds. Maybe like round it. Let's say 4.2. There. Now when it comes to cruising on the highway and doing the speed limit, it's great. Personally, I wish that windshield was not here right now. It's stopping too much. It's doing too good of a job. It looks small. It's doing a great job. It's stopping. There's no buffeting. There's no large gust of wind knocking my head around. There's also no wind hitting my chest, and it's hot. I want to cool down a little bit. Something unique and awesome about these adventure bikes is the way the ergonomics are, you know, similar to a dirt bike, potentially even more comfortable, is that you feel great. You can just stand right up on these bikes. Stand straight up, keep your arms down. I'm a 6'2", my knees are locked in, and this is a completely different seating position that you're gonna have. It's like driving a giant 1200cc Segway. You get to cool off, air out your jeans. I love it. These bikes are made for you to throw accessories on. If you want to put heated grips on them, do it. If you want extra lights and like this, you know, heated supplies, heated jacket, heated vest, heated gloves. If you were gonna ride a style of bike all year round and you wanted to go anywhere with it, I mean, you're not gonna want to take a sport bike or a big ultra classic or a road king, anything close to off-road. It's not gonna feel good. It's not gonna feel safe. Those tires are just not made for it. Although if you watch the video of the guys from the Yonkers police guys, they do some pretty wild stuff with their road kings. They're getting air on their road kings. It's pretty nuts. But a bike like this is kind of the perfect bike. Now you can get crash bars on them, and then you can throw your feet up on the crash bars. This right now, you only have one spot to put your feet. But I love the power putting out of these things. very unlike a sport bike where it's like nothing, 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 everything past 8,000 RPMs. At that point, it's like a rocket ship. This has awesome power everywhere. I gotta figure out how to turn that traction control off so I can wheelie. Alright guys, this is a awesome bike. This specific bike is extremely clean. It's an incredibly clean model. It's not been off-road. It's not been down. I don't think it's been down. Watch the walk-around video. A really good specimen of what these things should like if you take good care of them. Now, obviously, you know what, these bikes are made to go off-road. So if you are looking at one and it's been down a couple times, that's kind of normal. And most likely it's been down like in the woods or on a trail or on a logging road. Alright guys, that wraps it up. I'm Sean from Srkcycles. Do not forget to subscribe. Tons of cool bike stuff happening, and check out our other channel, Bikes and Beards. It's kind of the back end. It's kind of like the documentary TV show of what we do on, you know, picking up bikes and buying bikes and all that fun stuff. Alright guys, that wraps it up. Remember, it is not what you're riding, but where you're going. See you guys next time.